Oh, welcome back, conspiracy theorists. It's been a goddamn minute. Just got done shaving my head. I know I look like a bit of a shaved bird right now, but it'll grow back. So, anyway, what I wanted to talk about was this Aston Villa Newcastle United game that was postponed. The game was originally scheduled for December 4th, 2020, and on December 1st, they canceled the game due to the celebrity virus. So I'm going to show you what a ritual this was. So notice how, first of all, they suspended the game on January 21st, or December 1st, a lot like January 21st, 1/21 or 12/1 here in the United States. Notice how significant increase sums to 121. Every news story from BBC to ESPN was putting out the story where they emphasized the word significant increase. And anytime the mainstream media emphasizes a word, it's because there's gematria behind it that's relevant to the story. Now, gematria is a conspiracy theory and is probably the dumbest thing you've ever heard. But we're going to go ahead and continue with this. So notice BBC News is also 121. They're very much a realistic publication with a lot of truthful information. So December 1st is the day leaving 30 days left in the year, and coincidentally, Newcastle sums to 30. And, I also noticed that phrase, significant increase, sums to 95. And, we never talk about the Jesuit order on this channel, but significant increase is 95. Anthony Fauci, his surname Fauci is 95. Newcastle United is 95. And that's not a big Jesuit number because the Jesuits were not created to counter the 95 thesis. They were not recognized by Rome on the day leaving 95 days left in the year. Event 201, the coronavirus outbreak simulation, was done October 18th, 2019, the same day the military world games began in Wuhan, China. And if you go back and look at the history of the military world games, you'll see that it didn't begin in the year 95, and it wasn't taking place in Rome, which is not where the Jesuits are. So we're going to go ahead and read this article by BBC News. Again, they're very much a truthful publication. So December 4th, the date of this game, and coincidentally, this was the only Premier League game that was scheduled for December 4th. The other ones were on the 5th and the 6th, which was Saturday and Sunday. And I noticed that's a date with 56 numerology. And coincidentally, when you run the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, which is where you break every letter down to a single digit, Paris, France, where the Jesuits are from, sums to 56, and the Society of Jesus, which is another name for the Jesuit order, is 56, and Washington, D.C. is 56, and Anthony Fauci, who was coincidentally Jesuit educated at Holy Cross, is 56, and Corona del Mar is 56. That's coincidentally where Kobe Bryant died in a big Jesuit ritual. And then later that season, when the NBA returned, after him and his daughter were supposedly killed in a helicopter crash, the Los Angeles Lakers won the NBA Finals on Father-Daughter Day. That's the same as the coincidence with the World Series this year, where you had Chadwick Boseman, the actor who played Jackie Robinson in the movie 42, die at age 42 on Jackie Robinson Day, and then just a couple months later, the Los Angeles Dodgers won the World Series 4-2. That's a coincidence. And, again, to add to the conspiracy theory, coronavirus is 56, Event 201 is 56, toilet paper's 56, mind control's 56, Black Lives Matter's 56, power outage is 56, natural disasters 56, unemployment's 56. We haven't covered any stories in relation to 56 in this channel. So we're going to go ahead and read this story. Notice it says, Newcastle United's Premier League game in Aston-Villa on Friday has been postponed following a significant increase in COVID-19 cases at the Magpies training ground. What the hell is that? I don't even know. But it says 5 Newcastle players and 2 staff members, remember government's 52, have tested positive, reports BBC Newcastle's Matthew Raisbeck. The club's training ground at Darsley Park was closed on Monday and Tuesday. Newcastle lodged a request with the Premier League to postpone the fixture at Villa Park, which was approved. Aston-Villa says they fully support the Premier League's decision to postpone the match. Everybody at Aston Villa wishes a speedy recovery to those affected by the virus, added the club. Well, that's great for them. It says a new date and time for the game will be confirmed in the future. This is the first Premier League game this season to be postponed because of COVID cases, and I can't figure out why. It says Newcastle manager Steve Bruce said on Friday, when his team won 2-0 against Crystal Palace, that 3 players and 1 member of the staff had tested positive. I guess somebody sneezed after the game. It says on Monday, the training ground was shut on the advice of the Public Health of England, Northeast, and remained closed on Tuesday. The Premier League said it agreed that Newcastle were unable to train and safely prepare for the match at Villa Park. And to add to the coincidences, we talked about Event 201, the coronavirus outbreak simulation. And wouldn't you know it, that coincidentally fully support SUMSDA 201. And of course, Event 201 was the coronavirus outbreak simulation done by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Johns Hopkins University, and the World Health Organization, October 18th, 2019, where they simulated a global pandemic that will kill 65 million people over 18 months. And of course, Event 201 was on Melinda Gates' 65th day of her age, and Bill and Melinda Gates married 65 days after Bill Gates' birthday. Then on March 5th, the 65th day of the year, they reported 65,000 cases in the United States. Don't forget to add to the coincidences, on 6/5, June 5th, in the year 95, Bill Gates came out and was on the cover of Time magazine. So coincidentally, the word pandemic sums to 65 in gematria. And from the date the Jesuits were recognized by Rome, the day leaving 95 days left in the year, to the date they postponed the game, was exactly 65 days. And to add to 201, it's kind of interesting because the first publicly Jesuit Pope, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, his name sums to 201. Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits, sums to 201. The Domus Sancta Marte is where Pope Francis lives, and he lives in apartment 201, and Catholic Pope is 201, and the Jesuit order is 201, and Pope Francis is the first publicly Jesuit Pope. Don't forget that Bill Gates on January 29th, 2010, announced his plan for a decade of vaccines. And of course, this decade ending in 2019 is when Bill Gates is 65 years old. And coincidentally, his name sums to 201. So after an extensive consultation with both clubs, the PHE and Premier League advisors, the league said the decision was made to call off the match with the health and safety of the players as a priority. It says future tests will be given to the players and train. We don't even need to read the rest of that. But notice Anthony Fauci, from the date the Jesuits were recognized by Rome to his birthdays, 88 days. Like how extensive consultations, 88. Extensive consultations, also 281, the 60th prime, like fully support, like Newcastle FC, like Villa Park. That's a conspiracy theory. And the health of players and staff, the priority is 561, and the date that Aston Villa was founded was November 21st, and from November 21st to Fauci's birthday is 33 days, and coincidentally 561 is the 33rd triangular number, meaning when you add 1 through 33 together, it sums to 561. Again, that's a conspiracy theory. Masonry, secrecy, order, federal, false flag, they're all 33. The date the pandemic was announced was on March 11th, the date written 3/11, like 311, the 64th prime, and Aston Villa 64. And from the date the pandemic was announced to this, to the date they suspended the game was 266 days, like Jesus Homane Salvatore's 266, the Holy Roman Empire's 266. Newcastle United was established December 9th. From the pandemic to December 9th is 274 days, like Jesus Homane Salvatore. So again, this is clearly conspiracy theory. It's a waste of your time to watch this video. And please be sure to subscribe to BBC News. Follow all the mainstream media as much as you can, because it's clearly a coincidence and conspiracy theory to question why this game was suspended. Till next time.